Hi guys, happy Sunday. I'm filming this on Mother's Day. I just went and took my mommy out to lunch, so I'm full of pasta and very ready for this episode. I feel like we need to have a little talk about your decision making and the amount that we care about other people's opinions. I think for the past year or so, I've been working on breaking my codependency a little bit. I'm very codependent with my family. I value their opinions. I don't want to do anything without talking to them first. I feel like I can't make decisions sometimes without them. And that was something that I really wanted to break. And especially since I moved into my very first big girl apartment all by myself, like that was something that they were all worried and concerned. And there was a lot of fear building in my gut about this. And I ignored all of it and I trusted my intuition and I still moved out and I still did my own thing. And obviously, they were very supportive of me, but it was so freeing. And it made me realize that if I had just swayed a little bit to the side and listened to them or listened to how scary it would be to live on my own or all of these things and the bills and this and this and this, I probably wouldn't have done it. And I wouldn't be where I am today. And I am, I think, the happiest I've ever been sitting right here today in my very own apartment. And I'm really proud of myself for not swaying and listening in. I don't have this issue with friends. Growing up, I really didn't have that many friends. I feel like I went through phases with different friends and we'd get super close and then we'd grow apart or whatever it may be. So I've kind of always been on my own in that sense. And I got really comfortable with being on my own. And I feel like at that time, it was so stressful and I hated it. And I just wanted a million friends and I wanted to be friends with everybody. But it really taught me how to be comfortable on my own. And I feel like that sort of independence from external forces is something so important. And I see that not a lot of people have that today. A lot of people feel like they need to be surrounded by somebody all the time. A lot of people feel like, super codependent on their partners or on their best friend, and like being alone is the scariest thing to them. And I really don't have that. I feel like I thrive a little bit on being alone. I take myself out on dates, I go do things by myself. Not to say that I don't enjoy going with my girlfriends, having a night out, doing running errands with them. There's such a balance there. But at the end of the day, I feel so safe and I feel so good knowing that if I really had to be alone, like I could do it and I would be happy. I feel safe in my solitude and I'm a little bit of a homebody, so I guess that doesn't help. I remember that throughout school when I was doing content creation and stuff like this, there was such a side of me that I developed from being on my own that because I had nobody's opinions to listen to, I genuinely never developed the sense to care what people think of me. I feel like this might be part confidence and intuition and trusting myself and just a big bowl of all of these different things, but it's so important and it was such a valuable skill that I developed to genuinely not care about other people's opinions. Given the only people's opinions I really did care about is my family's, and I still do, but I'm working on breaking that, like, I need somebody to tell me what to do here. Like, I'm trying to grow up a little bit in that sense. I still call my parents and my brother and tell them about absolutely every little thing. But I am now able to detach their opinions from my own decision. So I'm able to separate the two. Like, okay, I hear your opinion. And is it going to sway my decision? Probably not. But that's so important and that's so valuable to me. If anybody is really currently struggling with some form of codependency or really feeling like you cannot make decisions on your own, I completely understand you. I was there just a year ago and it's a tough pill to swallow to be like, okay, I gotta put on my big girl panties. I gotta figure out some stuff by myself. I cannot always just make everybody make a decision for me. It's one of those things that I really grew into and appreciate now because I feel like I trust myself even more. And as each episode goes on, I'm sure I'm going to say this at some point in every episode, but the most important and valuable relationship you will have in this life is the one with yourself. And if you don't have a good relationship with yourself, if you don't trust yourself, if you don't show up for yourself, if you don't feel like you're looking out for yourself to the best of your abilities or not taking care of yourself, even, it's going to affect a lot of things in your life. And I have spent years working on a really solid foundation with myself. And I'm safe to say I fully trust myself. I know that I got me. I know that I am always looking out for the betterment of myself. And I think that this strong relationship I've developed is the reason why I don't let outside opinions sway me. Also, because I'm very stubborn and I'm Lebanese and I really don't care what other people have to say, which is such a blessing. I mean, you cannot allow other people to determine what you do in your life. You cannot allow other people to start making decisions for you or sway things, even as small as what you wear, how your hair looks, da 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 da, where should we go? Like, there's a difference in having your friends and your family give their opinions and say, well, I think you look better with bangs, or I think you don't look that good with bangs. But at the end of the day, you need to make that decision for yourself. You need to show up authentically in the world and start making decisions for yourself and taking control of your life and leading your life. I have met so many different people in my life from all across the world so far, and I'm so lucky to have talked to them in this capacity. But the coolest people I've met, or the people that I honestly remember, are the people that I can tell just don't care. They don't care what you think about them. They don't care how you perceive them. They don't care whether you like their content or you like what they're saying or doing or da da da. They're showing up as themselves, and that's all that it is. And it's also the same people. This is so interesting. I used to think that I could just start up a conversation with anybody and I was the coolest girl in the room because I could just walk around and talk to whoever. And it was a talent of mine and it still is. And I genuinely think that this is something I got from my dad. He's like that. He could just start talking to anybody and it's amazing. But it wasn't until a trip I took to LA a few years ago where I met one of my very now close friends in person and I watched her interact with every single person in the room, and something that I genuinely, my jaw was on the floor. She showed up as the same version of herself to everybody versus me. Now, you know, I started getting into my big girl career at like 21. I was 20 or 21. I was something like that. So I was meeting so many people. I was doing business deals. I was figuring out stuff. And I just kind of became this chameleon. I would match everybody else's energy. And it was draining and exhausting. And it was the worst thing I could have done for myself. I felt dead by the end of the day. I hated it so much. Something that this girl had taught me that I still to this day admire so much about her. And this was something that changed my life genuinely. I don't need to meet people where they are when just because I'm trying to make a good impression. I think naturally in life, people are going to like you if they like you and they're not if they're not. But you don't need to do yourself a disservice by trying to be a chameleon and change to everybody. But what you do need to do is give everybody the fair chance to get to know you by showing up as the same version of yourself to every different person you meet. And this was a lesson I had to learn. I feel like I can walk into a room and I can absolutely wow the crowd just by being myself, and I leave the room and I'm not exhausted. I feel like I can carry a conversation just by being myself, and I'm not exhausted by matching the way this person is talking or their excitement level or their energy level or whatever it is. I'm allowing people the opportunity to really get to know me because I'm introducing them all to the same version of me. Your superpower should be your ability to control your life and make your own decisions and trust yourself enough to do that and not allow these outside or external voices to sway you. I think the most recent example of this that I was having a chat with one of my girlfriends this past week. She's starting to get into content creation. She's feeling a little bit discouraged because TikTok has her videos stuck at that 200, 300 views. And her motivation is going down. And she feels like now it's a little embarrassing to keep putting out videos because she's not getting the response that she wants. When I tell you I just about jumped across that table, I literally was like, what are you even talking about? If you are putting out something that you love and you are genuinely happy with what you're sharing with the world, who gives a flying fuck if you have 60,000 views or 200? Do you know how many, like, if 200 people stood in front of you, that's a lot of fucking people, first of all. Second of all, when you're doing, I feel like everybody has this idea about content creation that is so fast and so quick and so glorifying immediately, which it can be. It absolutely can be. But that doesn't mean that it is for everybody. This is something I will preach forever. There's an audience for everyone. There is no point in trying to go online and build a persona and build somebody that you think is more appealing to the general masses versus being yourself. You deserve, and the real version of you deserves to show up authentically in life, online, on and off screen. I don't know what's happened to people that think that they are so much more interesting if they put on a persona online. Absolutely not. You are probably one of the coolest, most exciting, entertaining people, but you're not giving yourself credit. And I'm so tired of seeing people not give themselves enough credit compared to the online world and everything we're consuming. Yeah, you might think your life is boring and blah, blah, blah. Somebody might find you and think you are the coolest person ever. And it just takes that one person. This is my perception of content creation and social media. I don't approach social media for the numbers. I don't approach it for the instant gratification, glory. Like, none of that stuff is appealing to me. I genuinely want to share content and document because one, I love content creation and documenting and editing and filming, and all of that stuff is so exciting to me. But two, I genuinely want to build a community. I want to reach like minded people. I don't care if that's 100 people or if that's 1 million people, but I will authentically put out the things that I love, the videos I love, the content that makes the most sense to me, and I will show up online as myself. And whether that appeals to somebody and they accept it and they want to follow the journey, amazing. And if they don't, they don't. But you need to be okay that not everybody's going to like you. You need to accept that not everybody is going to think that you are the next it girl and you are the coolest, sexiest little miss thing over there. Like, and that's all right. That's life. And I feel like sometimes we forget it because we're in this age of like, oh, you don't have 1 million followers, you're a loser. What the fuck is that? Not at all. Not at all. Some of the coolest people I know are not even on social media. And I think that that is insane. If you're stuck in this moment of feeling like maybe you're not worthy or you're second guessing yourself, I completely understand. It's very easy to fall down this rabbit hole and to feel like you could be doing better, somebody else is cooler, da 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 da. Let me tell you a very hard truth. There will always be somebody in the room that is cooler, prettier, more successful than you, and there will always be somebody in the room who is less than you. Less pretty, less cool, less successful. No matter what room you walk into, no matter where in the world you are, who gives a fuck? Since when is your existence determined on how other people perceive you and their validation? You are like, stop punishing yourself by not being happy with who you are and not feeling content with who you are. This being said, if there are things in your life you need to work on, if you feel like there is a healthier way to live your life, emotionally, mentally, physically, whatever it may be, and you want to get better and you want to grow, do that. But do not be inauthentic and put on a persona of something that you're not. Because I promise you, everybody can see straight through that shit and it's exhausting for you and them. And you're never going to build genuine connections. And in this life, the most important thing is genuine connections. And I feel like that is the biggest thing that everybody lacks. We're all glued to our phones. We all don't know how to have a genuine fucking conversation, and it's exhausting. I'm currently in this place in my life where I feel like I'm kind of between two chapters and I'm growing into my next era, but I'm not really there yet. So right now things are feeling a little bit more lonely or they're feeling a little bit more flat, not super exciting for me, but that's okay. And I'm in this place of accepting that and zooming out and looking at the grand picture and just accepting the journey. And sometimes people get really uncomfortable with this journey because it's not fast, there's no instant gratification, the friends are not like whatever it may be that you feel like you're lacking is coming for you. You just have to be open and accepting it. Because I don't know about you, but I would rather have two genuine friends who know me for myself and my soul and my heart versus 100 friends who think that they know me, but I'm putting on a persona and I'm faking it. I think that's so exhausting and so ridiculous. I'm just not in that place in my life where I feel like I need to fake it. I'm also not in the place where I feel like I want to have that around me either. I want people in my life who are unapologetically themselves and who know who they are and who have a backbone. But then again, everybody in my life is pretty much in their 20s. So figuring out who you are right in this moment is not easy for everybody. And a lot of people probably don't know. And who you are today is not who you're going to be in 5 years because there's a thing called personal growth. Showing up authentically as who you are today is super important. And it's something that I really value. Honestly, of anything, I feel like it just makes me really sad to see certain people or to see anybody really feel like they're not worth it or they're not good enough because the internet didn't reward them. You are such a special, amazing individual. And the more that you tell yourself you're not, the more your reality is going to reflect that, and the more you're going to believe that. If you think that likes and views validate who you are and the amazing magic you bring with your presence, I hate to tell you, but you're fucking mistaken. You're wrong. You are so wrong. Each and every single one of you is so valuable and so important and worth so much. And it really breaks my heart to see some people get tricked out of that because of the internet or because of somebody else's opinion. Let me tell you something. There are a lot of snakes in the grass around you. The people that you think are your friends, they may not be. It will always be the people that see something in you. It will be the people that genuinely see who you are that will treat you the worst. They're going to keep you close. They're going to make you feel like they're best friends, and they're going to be in your ear. Oh, you da da da. Oh, you should do this. Oh, you should do da 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 da. And they're going to start swaying your life. Be a fucking boulder in the wind. Nobody is going to make decisions for you. Nobody's going to tell you how to run your life or do anything. Be yourself and keep an eye out for everybody. I think that I'm going to end the episode here, but I appreciate you for showing up and for listening. And if you made it all the way through, thank you. And I love you. And I'm so happy that you're here joining me. I'm going to leave all of the Little Miss socials linked down below, including my own personal socials if you want to follow. And go be yourself. Go be yourself. What's the worst that can happen? Somebody doesn't like you? Oh fucking K, boo fucking who? Because you are too special and you are too valuable and important to show up as anybody else on this earth. Thank you so very much for joining me for this episode. I love and appreciate every single one of you. And like I said, I'm going to link all of the Little Miss socials down below, and I will see you next week. Bye.